Xander and Philip had been circling around each other for weeks, both suspicious that the other might have betrayed them. At first it looked like all the evidence was pointing in both directions, and that was exactly what Gabby wanted. She had set up a clever trap where she made it appear that Xander had double-crossed Philip in business, and at the same time, that Philip had been pulling strings behind Xander's back. For a while the plan worked because neither man trusted the other enough to compare details. But then small cracks began to show. A few of the timelines didn't make sense. Certain documents looked like they had been forged, and phone calls that were supposed to have come from one of them turned out to be traced back elsewhere. Once the tension between Philip and Xander reached a boiling point, they finally decided to sit down and piece things together. That's when the truth started to unravel. The more they talked, the clearer it became that they were both being played, and the only person with enough motive and cunning to pull it off was Gabby. Instead of letting her get away with it, they quietly investigated her moves. They tracked bank transfers, intercepted emails, and even followed up on meetings she claimed never to have attended. Every trail led back to her, and soon they had more than enough evidence to prove that she orchestrated the entire setup. When the moment was right, Xander and Philip made their move. They didn't just confront her in private. They chose to expose her in front of others so she couldn't wiggle out of it with her usual charm or excuses. They laid out the proof step by step, showing how she created false trails, how she manipulated both of them into fighting each other, and how she stood to gain from their downfall. Gabby, who usually prided herself on staying 2 steps ahead, was completely blindsided. She tried to deny it at first, but the evidence was too strong and the walls closed in on her. By the end of it, Xander and Philip were cleared of suspicion, their reputations restored, and Gabby was left with no choice but to face the consequences of being caught. What was meant to be her brilliant scheme turned into her public humiliation. All because the two men she thought she could outsmart joined forces and exposed her.